Hey, this is a video to demonstrate a couple of different cases and issues with the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. This is the Sprint version of the Samsung Galaxy Note 4, and this is the stock back on it, which does not do wireless charging. As you can see, that's the normal stock back on there. I wanted to do wireless charging like I did on my S4, and so I bought the official Samsung Galaxy Note 4 wireless charging battery cover, which is also called the S charger cover. And as a lot of people have noted on YouTube, is once you snap this on here, it adds quite a bit of weight and thickness to it, to the point that almost none of the cases fit. So I got a couple of different cases to try out with it. First up, I have the Caseology Bumper cover, which is a polycarbonate frame with a fake leather back. If you try to put this in here, some people will say it'll work. With the official cover, it doesn't go in easily, I'll tell you that much. You can kind of, let's see, so it bumps out for the side, Can you force it on there a little bit and make it fit? Technically you can get it on there so the bumper cover does fit all the way over, except for either the top or the bottom. In this case, the top is out just slightly. There is a problem though. The buttons don't line up right. So the power button doesn't really work right anymore. And the volume button also doesn't really work right anymore once you put this case on with that back cover. So it fits, but the buttons don't work well. So basically, I'd call that a fail. Let's take that Caseology case off. The next case I was going to try with it is the Spigen Neo Hybrid Metal case, which is has an aluminum frame to it. This one, you really can't even get it over the side. As much as you try to stretch it and force it, this back part is too thick, and you can't get it over the side so that the lip goes over the front of the screen. So that case doesn't really work at all. Put that one back. You don't even need to bother putting the frame on with that. Then there's the Spigen Neo Hybrid with the polycarbonate frame on it. The case is about the same. It might be slightly thinner, but you really had the same issue where you can't get it up over the side. You try to stretch it, it really doesn't go with this back cover on, the charging cover, so that's not really going to work either. It's interesting, they made the Spigen Neo Hybrid case a little thicker on this model than they did on the other one. And the last one is the Verus IronShield. That's this case here, which has also been reported to work with this charging back. It's very similar to the Neo Hybrid aluminum. If you stretch the side, you can basically get it to go on better than the Neo Hybrid aluminum. Put the frame on there. Okay, get the frame on there all the way. And oops, come back here. Power button seems to work. Let's unlock here. Volume button. Kind of works. Yeah. I would say that you could probably use the Verus IronShield with the official charging cover. It's tight, not easy to get on and off, but volume up and down and power do seem to work, and it does seem that you can stretch it and fit it over there. So it's not completely incompatible. There is an issue here that's pointed out where this is a little bit protruding out because of the thickness of the thing, but it's not a big deal. So of these 4 cases, the Caseology Bumper cover, the 2 Spigen Neo Hybrids, 1 polycarbonate, 1 metal, and the Verus IronShield, the only one that really can work with the wireless charging official cover is the Verus IronShield. The other solution, which is what appeals to me, because this thing is just too heavy. This official charger cover is too thick and too heavy. Note 4 has already got enough weight to it as it is. You don't need to add something else. Is to go with the aftermarket back cover, which is Itian, Itian wireless charging cover. One difference to note is this one has an output, I don't know if you can see that, 650 milliamp output, whereas this one, the official one, has 800 milliamp output. So you would expect that the official wireless charger cover would charge quicker than this one. But I don't use this for my main charging anyway, unless I were to just put it on the nightstand and leave it all night, because you can plug the phone in and it'll be charged up in about an hour and a half. Whereas if you use the wireless charging, you're looking at probably 4 or 5 hours, I would say, to go from 0 to 100. But this back cover, this unofficial, aftermarket one, is essentially the same thickness as the non-wireless charging cover. So basically, it works with all the cases, as far as I can tell. We can put it into the Caseology Bumper cover. Pops right in there, fits all the way around. How about the power button? Hello. Okay, power button works. Sort of, I guess so. The phone must be unresponsive. Oops, darn it. Volume up and down kind of works too. I think the Caseology buttons just don't protrude far enough, either the power or the volume up and down. So whether you're using the original cover that doesn't do wireless charging or one of these wireless charging covers, it just doesn't give you that response where it feels like it's doing anything. Then we can look at the Spigen Neo Hybrid aluminum case, which is a beautiful case, but it's also kind of heavy. And I did actually use a scale to take measurements of all the weights of these different cases. This one feels really nice. It looks really nice, but it's a little bit heavy in my mind. So, really nice clicks on the buttons on this one. The power and the volume buttons have a very nice tactile feel to them. A nice click response. Works flawlessly. Spigen Neo Hybrid metal case works flawlessly with this aftermarket wireless charging. At least it fits. I can't say for sure that it does the wireless charging fine, but I assume that it would. I'd have to test that separately. I could put that in the description here. And then there is, I can't imagine there'd be any problem with the regular Spigen Neo Hybrid case. Although I will note that I had the regular Spigen Hybrid case with the polycarbonate back on my S4, and I broke the frame about 10 times. Now granted, I use spare batteries and I take the case off all the time. I always try not to flex it at the weak points. But I expect the aluminum would be a whole lot more durable. When you look at the points here around the power connector or around the headphone jack, these polycarbonate cases just can't hold up to repeatedly being removed and replaced. So that's why I'm thinking the aluminum is better, even though it weighs a little bit more. But I have good news about that. And the good news has to do with the Verus IronShield that I'm about to put on. This is the Verus IronShield case. Goes on very easily with this back cover. Put the aluminum frame on there. Some people say be careful you don't bend it, and you can bend it back, but I don't feel like this procedure. If you take it off and put it back on the right way, it's likely to get bent. The power button works just fine. Volume button works just fine. The good news here is that this aluminum frame case, Verus IronShield, weighs about the same as the Spigen Neo Hybrid polycarbonate. I've got a sheet, I can put all this, type all this up, but I took weights on everything of the phone with all these various cases on. So the Neo Hybrid, was 8.36 ounces with the polycarbonate Neo Hybrid case, and the Verus IronShield is 8.41. So really, essentially no difference. Compare that to the metal, which is 8.62. It really, and you really can tell the difference. It feels a lot heavier. So I like this case in terms of durability, in terms of weight and fit. And this Verus IronShield works either with the aftermarket Itian Wireless, which I think is one I'm going to keep, or just slightly, just barely, it does fit with the official wireless charger S charger cover. Although it's very tight, hard to get on and off, adds weight, adds thickness, and the buttons are probably not quite as responsive, although they do work. My only hesitation is if you compare these two cases, the Spigen Neo Hybrid Metal versus the Verus IronShield, the buttons on the Spigen definitely work a lot better, but it also weighs more. So anyway, that's my test of all the various cases. I think the official S charger cover is very difficult to get it to work with anything, although you can make it work with the Verus IronShield, just barely, but it will work. All the other cases I would say fail. But if you use the aftermarket Itian wireless charger, which is a little bit slower rate, slightly perhaps, it'll work with any of these cases. I also will mention I bought a different glass shield, and I forget the brand on it, but it was whatever the cheapest one was, or one of the cheapest ones you could get, tempered glass. And I had the first one shattered dead on arrival. The second one shattered the second day I put it on. So those were both no good. This one I put on about a week ago or 2 weeks ago. I've had no problems so far. This is 9H hardness. Not sure what the brand is on this. Pro Ultra Clear Glass Screen Guard for Galaxy Note 4. Cheap, thick, fits really nicely on the edges, and perfect for me at this point. All right, well, I'll put all the information in the video description about the weights of everything if you're curious. But I feel like this Verus IronShield is going to be the winner for me. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks. Bye.